Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more. What you say? Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more. What you say? Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more. Oh woman, don't treat me so mean. You're the meanest old woman I ever seen. I guess if you'd say so, I'm gonna have to pack my things and go. That's right, hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more. What you say? Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more. Break beats. Thank you again.
Well, thank you very much to Stretford High School. Can we give them another round of applause for such a good performance? Well, it's great to see so many of you here today. On behalf of the SSAT, let me thank you warmly for being part of the 20th National Conference, Innovating Learning. I'm Sue Williamson and I'm the Chief Exec of SSAT. And we've already been thrilled by the very warm welcome that we've received from the ACC and the City of Liverpool, the fabulous flags around the building and the welcome at the Lime Street station. A brilliant, friendly welcome. I'd like to congratulate you. According to last week's announcement from the OECD, our schools are right up there in the Global Education League table, number 6 in the world and second only to Finland in Europe. Isn't it nice when someone or a league table thinks you're doing a good job? As Chief Exec at the SSAT, I've made it my rule to spend at least a day a week visiting schools and talking to head teachers. I don't think I've seen so much exciting and innovative practice going on in England's schools since I started as a teacher some 35 years ago. In my view, we have the best generation of teachers and school leaders that we've ever had in this country. It really is a gross injustice to put our students' progress down to grade inflation. And yet, I'm sorry to say that for all the great work going on, I found quite a few of our heads quite dispirited. Why is it that so many great school leaders and teachers I meet are openly prepared to tell me they are now keeping their heads down, teaching to the tests, and resigning themselves to whatever the government has in store for them? Other professions, lawyers, doctors, for example, lead with confidence. We appear to have lost our confidence, and many teachers and school leaders seem to prefer to follow. Not willingly or without a lot of eloquent protests, but follow all the same. My own theory is that many of us have been told what our approaches to schooling should be for so long that we've lost our collective instinct for self-determination. We've forgotten how to lead. We're a done-to profession that works hard to implement policies that we know may not work. This worries me on several levels. Personally, having been a teacher for a good number of years, I can't see the point of being in the profession if you're not able to follow your professional convictions and values. But more fundamentally, education has never been more in need of informed leadership based on deep professional experience. The world is facing rapid social, economic, and technological change. We need people capable of understanding the implications of that for young people and of taking the responsibility of shaping an approach to schooling that inculcates the necessary resilience and problem-solving approaches. We also want confident leaders within schools. Heads that have confidence in their leadership give their teachers confidence, and confident teachers create the engaging lessons which transform young people's lives. I don't think I'm saying anything here that school leaders would disagree with. I'd like to do the right thing, most teachers are telling me, and then there's the usual but. But there's no time. Ofsted are on my back. We can't avoid teaching to the exam. Government keeps moving the goalposts. Colleagues, we need to get rid of that but bit and reactivate that all-important instinct for leadership. So how do we do that? Well, here's my 6-point leadership guide based on what I can see leaders in other walks of life doing. Firstly, they don't obsess about politicians. I find it increasingly surprising how many of us talk about the future of our sector, largely in terms of the government's position. We lock ourselves up in polarised views and frankly allow our reactions to those policy speeches to take the place of good independent thinking. We decided not to invite any politicians to this conference because we wanted it to be owned by the profession. Secondly, we need a more robust and imaginative intellectual basis to our work. Medical consultants sustain their authority and professional confidence by building research, innovation, and awareness of developments in their field into their working lives. Today and tomorrow, we're bringing together practice and research, but we need to do this every day. In the commercial world, leading entrepreneurs talk about working on the business, not in the business, looking constantly beyond day-to-day operational demands at the global market, the competition, their customers' behaviours. We need to take a leaf out of their book too. And what about football managers? I find there's always something to be learned from Alex Ferguson when it comes to leadership. Perhaps I shouldn't be talking about the manager of Manchester United in Liverpool, but I think he is a good example of somebody who sticks his neck out and risks making mistakes. Not an attribute that many of us exhibit, but somehow we need to reduce our anxiety about getting into trouble. I can't imagine the Minister for Sport popping into Old Trafford and telling Sir Alex how to develop his players and club. Surprisingly, I think we can even follow the example of our political leaders. Politicians, at least the good ones, use clear, interesting language to convey their ideas and connect with the public. I'd say that sometimes the complex way we explain ourselves to the world doesn't help build our leadership credibility either. So let's stop obsessing about politicians, develop an intellectual life, think beyond the day-to-day, take risks, and tell our story clearly and compellingly. And there's one more. Great professional leaders work together. They don't work in silos. School leaders need to network, collaborate, consolidate our thinking into a coherent voice, which is where we at SSAT might be able to help. As you know, we've been the hub of a pretty active and engaged network of school leaders from across the world for a very long time. But now we think our hour has really come. We can see that in many ways schools are being given more freedom to determine their management and teaching approaches, but at the same time regulation is far tougher, budgets are tighter, the political mood music is more challenging, and we have less in the way of support networks to help us out. We think there's a compelling need for our networks of support and best practice. We recognise there is a need for change, and we hope SSAT will also challenge your thinking and practice. We were proud to have been able to glue together the profession's legal challenge to Ofqual and the exam boards over the English GCSE results. And now we're setting about a bigger campaign to help us all rediscover our capacity to lead. Over the next 12 months, our plan is to assemble a vision for schooling that's led by the education profession based on high-quality practice and research, in partnership with employers and other stakeholders. We need to stop leaving the vision to government and start developing our own plan for the future. We've called this campaign Redesigning Schooling, and it kicks off here at the National Conference. From January, leading academics and thinkers, in fact some of the people who are speaking here today and tomorrow, including Guy, Bill Lucas and Dylan, will be working with school leaders, teachers, governors, parents and students in a series of spring symposia. We will also be working with employers, HE and FE to ensure that all stakeholders in our education system have a voice. We will be collaborating with a number of partners, including ASCL, the Edge Foundation, Baker Deering Trust, the CBI and the Federation of Small Businesses. We've also launched a collaborative website to enable as many people as possible to contribute. Then in June, just as the exam boards start work on the EBC, the plan is to publish a series of pamphlets recommending the way forward in developing England as a world-class system. SSAT is here to work with school leaders in taking the right decisions for their students, as well as to help you link with colleagues who can help raise standards in your school. The network provides you with a voice. Please contribute to redesigning schooling. Let's accept the challenge for change and lead. Today and tomorrow will contribute to the thinking and practice on redesigning schooling. And leading us through the 2 days of the conference will be Kirsty Andrew Power. But before I hand over to Kirsty, I want to hand over to two students, Jenny and George from Ringwood School, who are going to talk to you about the conference themes. Jenny and George.
The Confederation of British Industry, CBI, want radical changes with an emphasis on skills for life and work, saying that too much education is narrowly focused on passing exams. Last month, John Crindland from the CBI said, "Young people require broad skills which employers need. We want people who are rounded and grounded. The best education systems in the world have a broader range of skills." We are already working towards this at Ringwood. The opportunities that are provided by student voice are so broad, and at our school it is considered to be key in shaping changes, developing leadership, and in helping to guide a learning environment where students feel both valued and respected. As part of this, 5 years ago, we engineered a new system for student voice. This relies on wider involvement, that of 1/3 of the school, and communication was made far more effective. This has created a culture of leadership.
This culture of student leadership is evident across all year groups at Ringwood as we develop the leaders of tomorrow. I started my leadership journey in Year 8 and have never looked back. I've undertaken a vast array of opportunities which have allowed me to flourish, such as being selected for the school's question time panel, sitting on the town council as a student advisor, and being a finalist in the Youth Budget 2012, just to name but a few. Ringwood also prides itself on collaboration with other schools and other cultures worldwide. The Global Young Leaders Conference in America, which I shall be attending next summer, will significantly develop communication, organisation and teamworking skills, aspects that are essential to any student's personal development journey. So why do so many students get involved?
We know that the world is changing fast. Anyone familiar with Shift Happens will know that. Ringwood School is preparing students for the rapidly changing demands of the labour market, providing the opportunity to gain skills that are paramount to our future success. Part of the student leadership remit at Ringwood is reaching into the community. We won the Speakers Award for the work we do, where student advisors sit on the town council, giving a voice to the young people of the town within our community. Providing a lasting legacy is now a requirement of the head boy and girl and a key part of their interview process. Students are leading change.
Ringwood students are also consulted about their learning through co-construction with teachers. Our Making Learning Better group investigates learning styles and observes learning in lessons to allow students to comment on what they see. We are also proud to collaborate with other schools regionally to share ideas and plan together to help improve students' learning. Students wanted early morning access to our library, so senior students responded with a rota for early morning opening. I was one of the students who helped produce a mobile technology policy, agreed by governors and implemented by staff. The policy has been extremely successful, allowing technological integration within the classroom environment.
In 2008, I stood on an SSAT stage in Birmingham to explain a student-led project in cultural diversity which we organised with 3 other schools. 4 years later, and I'm now the head girl. I would not be standing here today without the numerous opportunities for personal development and leadership which I have been able to take part in. I am, as the CBI might say, both rounded and grounded.
At Ringwood, we are innovating learning with student leadership at the forefront of everything that we do. This has allowed us to work at a national level as a pilot school for the new Student Leadership Accreditation. If you want to hear more about accrediting and enhancing the skills of your students and want to give them the best possible chance in the current competitive labour market, then please come along to our rendezvous session later on this afternoon to find out more. Thank you very much.